Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day to you. Here at Bayou Sports Talk, we have a great day here in the Bayou of Louisiana. We got some great panelists before you. Holla at them, Coach.
What's good, everybody? It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and the amazing LDBC, Lions Den basketball community. Shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. Hopefully,
LSU'S.
y'all enjoy today's show. And y'all just sit back, relax, and enjoy.
All right, holla at them, Rue.
I got one question for you. How you figured out the greatest university?
Because it is, honey.
I ain't knocking y'all, but that's just your opinion. See, when you say that now, just say my opinion. Southern is the greatest university.
Man, whatever, man.
Well,
What's the
once you
greatest
step
university?
on that yard, you will see for yourself.
Hey,
Oh, he know about the yard. He know about the
Hey.
library.
hey. What's the greatest university? Nickel State?
No, definitely not them. Definitely not them. You at Lafayette?
They ain't the greatest university either.
How about the LSU Tigers? We're gonna go that. We're gonna leave that down right there.
Nah, negative.
They are great too. We're not denying it, but Southern,
Yeah, Southern.
we doing that HBCU. Hey, we got the rep. All right, guys, let's get on these great topics. So let's get started. Let's talk about LSU's Alexis Morris as for those who haven't heard that she was cut from the WNBA team that she was drafted from the Connecticut Suns. So she hadn't even been on a month. Ruth, start us off. What are your thoughts?
Maybe she might not be fit for the team that she got drafted with. Maybe she may be fit for another team because girl could play though. She got handles. She could shoot. She could take over the game. She got a good attitude. You know, sometimes that could get in the way too, but sometimes you're not fit. Every player not fit for a person, team. It might not be fit for what you're trying to do as a scheme. And I think she's pretty good though.
All right. And so your thoughts that you think that she may have not been just fit for the team? Or
Yeah,
do you
I
think
think I really don't follow the Connecticut Suns, so I really don't know what they got. I just know but like the bigger team like the Phoenix, Mercury, and a couple of teams like Atlanta, so I don't think that she probably fit. I think she probably fit with a probably Brittany Grinder, pick and roll, something like she had at Angela Reese, or the maybe the LA Sparks or the Washington Mystics with Deladova. I say that right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Then she might fit, pick and roll, some top of the key shot. So I think it's too early to tell. And I think she definitely got a career. She could play in the WNBA. She got game. So, we'll see what goes on from this.
yes? Coach, what are your thoughts? What are your speculations of the reason why she was cut and where she's gonna go from here?
Well, I think it's only one of a few possibilities. I think Rue Dahl brought up a valid point. Maybe from a scheme standpoint, she's not a good fit in terms of what she brings to the table for that particular team. So maybe it's one fit. Another thing may be the fact that she's just not talented enough. I think she's a talented player, but maybe she's not talented enough for that particular team. And the thing about it is when you have a player, I'll just use it for example. Anytime you have like a superstar player of any sport, usually when that superstar player is in a prime, that superstar player gets like special treatment. Of course, Rudolph's always been a proponent of it. If a superstar player, you can't treat the superstar player the way you treat the rest of the team. They deserve special treatment. And then once they get on the back end of their career, maybe like somebody like Allen Iverson, like that superstar player is not worth the trouble or the hassle. So when they prime and they were winning you games, all right, it's cool. But once they on the back end of their career, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So I don't think it's that type of scenario. And I think the last scenario is maybe it's something like off the court that we are unaware of. So I don't know what it could be, but it may be some type of off the court type issue. So I don't know if it's some kind of issue with the front office, with the coaching staff, with another teammate, because Raymond brought up the Coach O situation last week. And I think if you're in LSU, they're willing to turn a blind eye to some of the issues you having on, off the field if you winning. However, if you're not producing, then everything is under a microscope. So that particular situation, it could be that, who knows? And before we transition to our next, topic, the next part of the discussion, I want to shout out to our brother David Jackson. What's up, bro?
Okay, well, so let me ask this question. So, do you think, as a player, once you are on a bigger platform, do you wait to see what the environment is like before you really try to just bring forth your personality, which may be so dominant or so over, so much, so more demanding than what you're used to? That, do you wait to see what your environment is like, or you just continue to play the role that you're used to? How do you perform? How do you bring yourself to the table in that instance, like the WNBA? Rue, what are your thoughts? Do you wait to see?
It's just like a relationship, you know. You got to feel that person vibe and energy. So sometimes you might not have that vibe with this team. Like you just come off a championship run with a great team. You know that was sister. Yeah, I get my hair done by the same person. Yeah, I know Felicia, Tawanda, whoever. That's kind of vibe you kind of got with that locker room there. When you go in different locker room, it's things change because coach knows. You know, you could be playing for this team and you all won championships in high school. Soon as you get to college, you is not that same person no more. Like, you make it to the big stage, you're not that same person no more. You don't have the authority you had when you was playing with my girl. That's my home girl, man. We go get our nails done, whatever like that. It's different, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sound sarcastic or racist or anything. Like you probably playing with a couple sisters and a couple white. Your swag is different. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Like, all right then, man, Jim, man, we're gonna get our hair cut at the same shop, man. Everything sounds good, but when you get to the WNBA league, this is different. Like, and you gotta that chemistry, you gotta build it. That just don't happen overnight. And I'm shocked to see in a month time you kind of cut this player already. This somebody taking the draft. You see what girl could do in a tournament. So hey, this is a big surprise to me.
Yes, and it was a surprise as well on for me. I mean, you have it's so soon. So it, like coach said, it must have been something that was off the court. So coach, what are
I
your?
got one more thing. I got one more thing to add to that.
Yes.
She one thing. She a great player. Keep your head up. Keep playing the game, little girl. Keep having the love and everything for the game, and eventually somebody gonna pick you up. I just hope the best for you, and I pray you see somebody team because I see a lot of success in this player, bro. She got an attitude like she carry a chip on her shoulder. She gonna win every night. So I like that, and she a big part of winning the championship. So I like her game, bro. So I hope she make it on somebody's team.
Yes, I agree, Rue, and that's how you have to play. You have to go for what you want. And coach, what are your thoughts? Do you think they just felt like her personality was too much, or Or do you, even in that instance, do you go into the locker room checking out what things are before you really show them who you are? How do you feel? How do you go into the locker room in a new environment as the WNBA?
I'm gonna echo a lot of same sentiments that Rue just did. First of all, being on the team is like being in a relationship or a part of a family. Everybody has their particular role, and in many instances, when people feel that relationship doesn't serve them, they cut ties because they feel the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So, like you were saying, and like he was saying, for her to get cut this soon, it makes me think there's more going on to the situation behind the scenes because it's puzzling. It's only been a month. So unless she did something like extremely egregious, I really don't see why you would cut her so soon. And it's only been a month.
You're right. You're
He's
right.
not too far removed from winning the national championship at LSU. And it takes time to build chemistry as a team. It takes time to build rapport with the front office, with the coaching staff, with teammates, so on and so forth. And as a result, to me, it seems as if either something happened off the court or something happened behind the scenes, or if they really saw that they really feel she's not good enough to play on their team, or maybe they just feel like she doesn't fit. Like Ruth said earlier, she doesn't fit for what they're trying to do. But either way, to me, this is entirely too early to make that evaluation.
You're right.
Like he said, is when you transition from college to the WNBA, it might be a certain degree of culture shock because WNBA teams seem to be a little bit more culturally diverse than college teams. In fact, you can look at the contrast between LSU and some of the teams they played, like Iowa. You look at our team versus the LSU team. Neither of those teams are real culturally diverse. But when you get to the WNBA, you literally can have, for one player that you're in an Iowa team, you can have one LSU player and vice versa. So who knows what really transpired?
Correct. And so as Ruth said, we wish her much success.
Nothing but the best.
Yes, and we will be praying that things work out for the best for her. So guys, let's move on and talk about the NBA playoffs. Guys, have you been watching? I see that the Lakers closed out the series with the Warriors. Woo woo. And as well as the Heat, they closed out the series as well. So we're moving in the right direction. Coach, what are your thoughts? Did you see the Heat? Did you see the Lakers? What who were you rooting for, and what does it look like for you?
Well, going into these particular series, I picked Golden State to beat the Lakers in 7. So I was wrong.
Sorry for you.
No, I'm not worried about the pick because the Pelicans are my team. If it's not the Pelicans, I'm not really concerned. So I don't mind being wrong in this instance. So I picked Golden State to beat the Lakers in 7. And surprisingly, the real reason why I didn't pick the Lakers to beat Golden State is because, truthfully speaking, Anthony Davis is the best player on that team. And Rue and I have talked about this for years. He just does not have that killer instinct or that dog in him like a Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant, like a Shaquille O'Neal, like a player of that caliber in their prime. Because truthfully speaking, injuries aside, if we just looking at just the player itself, he should be one of the top 3 players in the NBA, along with maybe Giannis, maybe Joel Embiid. From a talent standpoint, he's that good. But when you factor in the fact that he's perpetually injured, in addition to the fact that he really doesn't have any killer instinct, one game he could get you 40. The next game he might get you just a double-double, like maybe 16 and 10. So a player of his magnitude, he should be able to dominate night in and night out. He's that talented. But just like a lot of modern players like Karl Anthony Towns, they really don't want to get beat up. They don't want really. I think at this stage in his career, Anthony Davis is really a 5, but he wants to be a 4 like Karl Anthony Towns. He wants to go on the perimeter. He wants to shoot, jack up all these 3-point shots and all these perimeter shots because he don't want to get in the paint and mix it up, and he don't want to take that pounding. So that's the reason why the Lakers really won that series. He's the best player on their team, and he's going to go as far as they take him. That's why when it was the two of us and Raymond, I told him, basically, when he said he think they could go advance, to the Western Conference Final without Anthony Davis, that's not true because he's the best player on the team, despite what people might say. So I was wrong in that particular series. I picked the Denver Nuggets to beat the Phoenix Suns in 6, and that's exactly what happened. It pretty much played out the way I anticipated. The fact that the Suns gave up so much to get Kevin Durant didn't have the depth to really match up with the Denver Nuggets. So that's the reason why that series played out the way it did. In terms of the Miami Heat, I think I picked the Heat to beat the Knicks in 5, and they beat them in 6. So it ended up, for the most part, like I say, playing out the way I thought it did. Now, in terms of the 76ers and Celtics, I picked the Celtics to win in 7. So that pick still could be in play, but I think the 76ers should be kicking themselves because they had a golden opportunity to close the Celtics out at home. And the fact that you let the Celtics get that game, I think the Celtics is going to win that series. And I'm anticipating the Celtics and the Heat playing in the Eastern Conference Finals. And, of course, we already know the Nuggets and the Lakers going to play in the Western Conference Finals. I have the Nuggets playing against the Celtics in the NBA Finals. I know many people picking the Lakers to beat the Nuggets, but truthfully speaking, I think the issue that the Lakers going to run into, they don't have anybody that really can match up with the Joker. So I think Jokic is going to have his way. AD is really too small to stick the Joker. But on the flip side, on the defensive side, they might have multiple people that they could throw at Anthony Davis, but I don't think none of them could really stop him because I don't think Aaron Gordon's big enough. And Michael Porter Jr. is definitely not big enough. And the Joker, he's entirely too slow to stick AD. So I think his face-up game is going to be imperative. The same. Instead of him playing on the block, used to face up a lot in New Orleans. So that face-up game probably going to be in play in this particular series. So I'm expecting a long series. I think the Nuggets probably beat them in 7, and I think the Celtics going to beat the Heat in 7. That's my opinion.
Okay, Rue, what are your thoughts? Who do you think will win future rounds?
I think this how it gonna go. They're trying to make the dude LeBron James, Michael Jordan so bad. Like,
He not.
man, they pushing this issue. Like, man, this dude, man, it's just outrageous, man. And if you a fan of a sport, you can see this. Like, it don't take Stevie Wonder to see this. Like how they got LeBron James on the pedestal. Like, that don't sound like I'm a head or nothing like that. But the thing
But you are.
let him do, the thing they let him do, ain't nobody else in the league will get away with that. But we're gonna jump into this like. The Phoenix Suns, bro. You need to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. Don't quote me what I'm about to say on this, and y'all might get mad, or I ain't supposed to say this on you. I need to check this dude's gender, man. This dude is a girl, man. This dude's a straight up girl. This dude don't want to play ball because he's not getting the ball. Man, you earn your stripes. You go out there and play ball till you get it. You won't sit down. Well, he'll be the first thing. See, tomorrow I'll be trying to trade him tomorrow on a Sunday, on Mother's Day. He's soft. He don't want to play. And then they'll never win that anyway because they're too ball dominant between KD and Booker. Nobody else can touch the ball but them two, And they got this other guy, but I don't even know his name. He's just too slow to stick anybody. Like, man, they need a lot done to that team in Phoenix. Chris Paul, he another one. He gone too. I don't care what he play. He could play for the big what they call Ice Cube got the big 3 league. You know what I'm saying? Hey, them dudes, he's done. So they need to shop around and find us some young players. You really don't have too much time because KD, you can see he's fading a little bit too. So you kind of got to get some players in there right then and there if you want to win a championship. If you Monty Williams, and the Denver Nuggets, they're a deep team, but they're not gonna beat the Los Angeles Lakers, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate to say it like that. All this stuff they're doing right now, they did it in the bubble. All is gonna come back and play again. They play hard, like they got a good team or whatever. They playing hard, coach, but they're not gonna go to the finals, bro. Let's be honest with each other, man. You know how they're gonna go. They're people gonna put LeBron James in the finals, and they're gonna play against. I'm picking Boston, bro, because I think Boston got the team to beat them, and they're gonna let LeBron win them another ring, bro. That's how I see it, bro. And I hate to say it's gonna go like that, but man, my boy Tatum, that's my boy there, you heard me? Light skinned brother, you know. He gonna handle the business though, anywhere the cut go. But Miami, Jimmy Buckets, he gonna handle the business, but they can only go so far with him and Bam. You know, Larry on there hopping around, you know, he this guy kind of older. They missing Tyler Hero, you know, they missing a lot of things. The other guy, he's shooting. Martin, they playing good, but
Duncan
that's
Robinson.
only gonna go so far when you playing against Jalen Brown. You playing against Jason Tatum, you know what I'm saying?
Marcus
And you
Smart.
playing against Brogers, Marcus Smart. They got so many players. They got Aldridge. They got the dude Williams.
White.
So they got the team to the play. My bad, sorry. But the 76ers, y'all had your chance. Y'all blew it there when y'all was at home, you know. And I don't want to see them play nobody anyway, because I think they're going to only go so far. If Embiid get hurt, that's a wrap for them. You know, I'd rather see somebody like the Boston Celtics play against Miami and go in the finals and play somebody maybe like the Lakers or something like that, because they got a deeper team. They could kind of match up with everybody. So that's what I want to see, you know. And I want to see Jason Tatum get him a ring, bro. You know, that's what I want to see, bro. And shout out to Boston, man. Shout out to my man Tatum. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it done this year. I think so, bro. But everybody want to see LeBron jam like MJ. You know, he's not no MJ. I hate when they compare that. You heard me? I don't like that. He's not
So,
no MJ.
Rue, you don't think that?
Hold up, Kate. Hold up, Kate. Look,
Okay.
let me respond to a couple of things. One, I agree 100% what he said about DeAndre Ayton. But the problem is, DeAndre Ayton has no trade value. And nobody taking on that big stupid contract when this boy is soft as cottonelle. It's not going to happen. Now, in terms of his LeBron MJ comparison, I mean, I think to a certain degree he got a little haterism in his blood for LeBron, but he right from the standpoint that he ain't on MJ level. I don't care what nobody say. LeBron ain't MJ. So I think they're trying to push it. But I think he's right from the standpoint that LeBron wants all the calls, but I don't think he get the special treatment in terms of all the whistles going his way, the way Rude Dog thinks it does. I mean, he gets a lot of calls and he does a lot of pouting and whining and complaining and flopping like a soccer player. But at the same token, I don't think he don't get as many calls as the MJ got. I'm not even
Man,
gonna lie.
listen, you out the game last night. I don't mean to cut you off. When you were going on a fast break, you saw how he tried to push at that dude and he missed and try to throw the ball at the rim. It almost went in you. It's just a lot of stuff he do that just everybody act like they don't see it. Like AD last night took the ball off top of the rim. You don't think that was interference when everybody was going for the rebound and the ball was still on top of the cylinder? Like, it's a lot of stuff they get away with, you know?
No.
But one thing I can say,
I agree with you 100%, but I still think you kind of embellishing the amount of calls he get. I don't think he get MJ. I don't think he get the kind of calls MJ got in his day.
Because he's not MJ.
But that's true too. That's true.
He's not MJ. Like, everybody trying to compare this guy to MJ. Man, one thing, Michael Jordan will probably be the greatest of all time ever. You know, Steph Curry gonna be the greatest 3-pointer shooter of all time. You know, even every record meant to be broken, but like, man, LeBron James been playing all these years, 20-something seasons. MJ didn't play that long. MJ took breaks every time you look around. MJ was taking a break.
Yeah,
so
he retired 3 times.
That's what I'm saying though. So everybody should look at this. But these younger generation, LeBron. Ask one of them what kind of pair LeBron James shoes they done bought in the last few years. Shirt, jersey, everything, you know, everything MJ. You have to go buy a Michael Jordan jersey right now. You wait 5 years from now. That jersey worth millions of dollars. You buy a LeBron James jersey, you probably be washing your car with that or something. You know, I'm just being honest with you. I ain't no LeBron James head or nothing like that. But I'm just being real, man.
Yeah, cuz you come across as a little bit of LBJ hater though. You know,
real, man. Look, all them LeBron James, I see them all the time. All LeBron. Man, dog, LeBron James is pretty much play like Carmelo Anthony, bullet ball. Pretty much like he really don't have too much. He can't really shoot as well as. So man, I don't want to stop y'all. I don't want to hit on the man. Look,
I know.
I'm going
Hey,
for the Celtics to win the title. That's what I'm
hey,
going for.
and one other thing too. You said the
Huh?
Nuggets can only go so far. Murray got hurt in the bubble now. In fact, he really just rounded back in the form from what he was in the bubble. Because that tear he was on in the bubble, he got hurt, and he really just kind of getting his groove back from a playoff standpoint
Oh, dude,
compared to what
Murray,
he
I ain't
was in
gonna
the
lie.
bubble.
No, I never broke it down to you, but Denver really have a better team than the Lakers.
I
Like,
think so. That's why I picked him.
hey, bro, like Murray, but I just think they're gonna choke though. That's why I think. Man, you got Murray, Caldwell Pope did his thing. You got Jeff Green out there looking like Al Green out there. You got hey, bro, you gotta listen. You got a lot of stuff with these boys, and you got Gordon no joke neither. Gordon gonna handle his
Aaron
business.
Gordon,
You
Michael
know what I'm
Porter.
saying? Then you still got Mike. Well, I don't think, bro. He choke a lot for me, bro. He got a
He
good shot
inconsistent.
there.
I agree.
He got a good shot, but he choke a lot. You got
Inconsistent.
all these other players. They're playing great. They still got Reggie Jackson at the bottom of the bench. They didn't even touch the floor. So they could
That's
really go
crazy.
deep. They could really go deep on anybody. And I ain't gonna lie, the Lakers got a lot of great role players too. As what the guy named it? The Reeves.
Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura,
Walker. Uh,
Hachimura.
all of them, they got their team deep. They got a great team, bro. But I think the Nuggets got a better team. But I'm gonna be honest with you, LeBron James going to the final, bro. They won't see this. This is about like money. LeBron James, I think Jason Tatum. Or it might be a rematch from the bubble. You never know, bro. But I'm going with the Celtics. But it might be a rematch. And if it's a rematch, I think Jimmy gonna get it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. They trying to make LeBron Jordan, bro. I hate the comparison, bro, all the time, bro.
Well, so first of all, let me make this comment. No one should want to compare LeBron to Jordan. The reason why, because Jordan was very arrogant and he has this sense of entitlement like he is some god. So that's why I have a problem with the comparison. And second of all, because LeBron is more down to earth than Jordan.
Well, hold up, okay, because you do this all the time. We talking about on the court. We're not talking about off the court.
Yes, and I'm talking about on the court. On the court, Jordan was very arrogant, and
off the court.
He on the court as well.
All the calls he got, the special treatment he got on the court, he earned those stripes. I'm not even gonna lie,
Okay, he may have been a good player, but when you
a great player.
To each his own. I've never been a Jordan fan because of his demeanor on the court and off the court. But that's not here nor there. So, guys, tell me, who do you take for the East Coast and for the West Coast overall? For the East Coast, who do you take? The Celtics or the Heat? We're just predicting that the Celtics may pull it out over the 76ers.
Yeah.
So if the Celtics were to win that series, do you take the Celtics over the Heat?
Me?
Yeah. You go first, Ru.
Me? You already know who it's about. My dog Tatum. Good hair, light-skinned brother. Like, something like me a little bit, Hey, man, you can't go against him. If Patty Mahomes won in football, we're going to win it in basketball, Klay Thompson let me down. I thought he was going to pull it through, but, hey, Tatum, my backup plan, and we're going to roll with it. We're going to get him a ring, though. They've been to it. They've been on it too many times. They were that last year, 2 years before that, so it's time for him to get him a ring. He can smell it now. I think the Heat just don't have enough firepower, to hang with them. Because anybody could get hot with the Celtics. They're deeper. I think in the all season, I think they need to acquire Terry Rozier. That would be a nice pickup for them. Somebody that probably, Terry used to be a starter in Charlotte, but I think he could come off the bench and be a better role player to fit them guys' suit. Like he was there with them when they were rolling. I think they need to get him back. He grew with them boys, and I think that's a great fit for them for next year when they could win a back-to-back ring.
Okay, so Coach, who do you take on the East Coast? The
Well,
Celtics or the Heat?
I'm gonna give you my whole breakdown. I think the Celtics are gonna win. Are gonna win Game 7, and they're gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And of course, in the West, the Lakers and the Nuggets already, penciled in. I think the Celtics are gonna beat the Heat in maybe 6. So I see the Celtics going to the NBA Finals. Surprisingly, I'm gonna go with the upset. I think the Nuggets are gonna beat the Lakers in 7, and I think
I hope
they're
you're
going.
right.
I think they're going to the finals, and I think the Celtics are going to win the NBA championship. I think the one thing that we really need to address in terms of the Celtics, Jason Tatum has to be more consistent because the way he's playing in these playoffs, it's like I'm not seeing the Jason Tatum I've seen in the past. It's like he's up one game, he's down one game. I don't know if it's something personal or something going on with him or whatever the case may be, but this is not the Tatum I'm used to seeing. Now, in terms of, I didn't address this, but the Golden State Warriors, I think the Golden State Warriors dynasty has, at this point, has come to an end. I think they need to reshuffle that team. If it was me personally, I'd just let Draymond Green ride because I think him doing what he did to Jordan Poole at the beginning of the year, I think it kind of messed up their chemistry. So I'll give it to Draymond Green. I think I'll roll with Steph, Jordan Poole, and Clay, and maybe Wiggins at the 4. And I don't know why they got rid of James Wiseman. I know they said he didn't fit. Evidently, Steph and Draymond didn't like him. But I think James Wiseman was a player that you could have used in this series. Who knows? Maybe he's a bust, but I think, one thing Rue and I used to talk about, just imagine if you had a dominant post player from the 90s, like maybe Akeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, Charles, whoever. You had a dominant post player with Clay and Steph and Jordan Poole or whoever with those type of shooters. I'm not going to say Durant because Durant pretty much messed up the entire balance of the league. You knew Golden State was going to win a championship, and who used to complain when we used to play 2K and I'll pick Golden State. He like, man, hey, but that's too much advantage, like you cheating. So I think the whole league, KD messed up the whole league when he went to Golden State. But the point I'm trying to make is if you had a dominant post player with those shooters that they have on their team, they would be a team that could really compete like for even more championships for years to come. And I think them getting rid of James Wiseman was a stupid move. Trade him to the Pistons for a pack of bubble gum and couple of paper clips and some silly string. It's like that was a stupid trade. So, considering you got him with the number 2 pick overall, I think they should have kept him. But either way the cut go, I think they're gonna have to kind of incorporate some newer players, younger players like Kuminga and Moody. Like those guys gonna have to be inserted into their rotation because these older guys are like Clay and Steph. Like they only back on the back end of their career, they starting to enter the twilight of their career, especially Clay. I think the injuries have really slowed him down. So I think it's gonna be imperative that you move Jordan Poole into the starting lineup. Maybe you could put him at the 2, move Clay to the 3. I don't know if it'll really fit. They like to play small ball, so maybe you can put Wiggins at the 4 and Looney at the 5. They're gonna need to find him another like backup power forward center type. But I think they need to move on from Draymond Green. Even I know he might be not what he was when he was with the 76ers, but I think maybe even getting a Ben Simmons type would be a good fit for Golden State. But that's just my personal opinion.
Hey, bro, I agree with you 85% on everything you said, bro. You made good, strong, valid points. But I gotta disagree with you. You gotta keep Draymond. Draymond is the energy. Draymond keep them guys going. He might not score the points for you. He might not get the baskets for you. But Draymond is doing all the dirty work. And that's what they need. When them guys be down.
And you heard what you said, the dirty work.
Yeah, you're right. And just like when we talk about Jordan, Dennis Rodman, he's Dennis Rodman for the Golden State Warriors. He's doing the dirty work. Something you need on a team. Somebody you need to bring the energy. Sometimes you don't have the energy, scoring the points, scoring the baskets. He made a dirty play, Just last night he put the ball in the man's face. He entertainment too, bro. Hey man, you need somebody like Draymond on the court, I think, bro. I don't think you need to give him all that salary, all the money you're getting, but I think you need to bring him back. Jordan Poole is a problem. He's good in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason, he take the most dumbest shots I could think about. He cocked back with one leg, throwing the ball up all over the rim. Dude, take your time. Shoot the ball. You was wide open. Why you was creating a harder shot than you already have? Like, dude, you need to learn the game. Forgive me, I'm talking about Steph Curry. But Steve Kerr need to sit him down and talk to him. You could be he has the star potential in the league, but he take the most craziest shots. Like he try to shoot like Steph from way back there. Like you can make that shot, but you gonna step up to the line and make a regular three. If you think about it, Klay Thompson, he's all he's been battling injured back and forth. But I think he could come back next season. But like you said, coach, he's slowing down. You could see that. He's not the defender he used to be, the shooter he used to be. And getting rid of James Wiseman probably was a bad move because you do need another backup center, power forward. Like I think somebody maybe like a Mitchell Robinson will be good for them. Somebody could grab a lot of rebound, do a lot of trash, a lot of hustle stuff, set scream up top, alley hoops, shoot 3-pointers. He's not gonna post nobody up, but his job is to do dirty work. Something like AD was doing with him at halftime. AD had 15 rebounds or something like that. You need somebody to get you a lot of boards, kick it back out to Stephen, get you a fresh start, fresh 24, 14, with however it go. You need a fresh start, pick and roll, three. You can't stop them guys. When them guys get the clicking going, it's hard to stop them dudes. So I think you need to invest in a younger center or get you a center that can be board down. But I think they should have kept JaVale McGee. If you want to be honest with you, when they won the Mitchell run, that was the guy that was helping them out. JaVale McGee and your brother, Iguodala, Andre Iguodala, he was another one helping them out. Hey, bro, I saw another side. I was going to call you. I ain't want to do that to you. You keep my bad. I'm just playing. I don't want to make you mad. But yeah, I think it needs. Huh?
No, I'm sorry. Finish up.
Yeah, bro. I think they need a couple more pieces because that team was depth wise. Now it's just Steph Curry, maybe Poole. You don't really have no consistent. Like, I understand where they're going at. You just saying mood in though, but they just ain't ready yet. They not. The other guy he played good, who played for Milwaukee. What his name is?
Dante DiVincenzo.
Man, that guy he played good, man. You need to get him more in the rotation. He's a good spot up shooter.
Yeah, but this is the thing about it though. They're so far into the luxury tax. They way into the repeater tax.
Yeah, I think Andrew Wiggins was a great player, but you already got an Andrew Wiggins, I think, on that team already. It's one of them guys. Like, I think he could be replaceable instead of getting him all that money. I mean, you had to pay Poole in a certain way because he's a great young talent that's coming up in the league. But if he could stop taking all these crazy cockback shots, he probably could be one of the most dominant young players in the league. All this step back, just throwing the ball over his head. Like, man, take your time and let the game come to you. Take your time with the game and play, instead of all this circuit shots. I guess, trying to be a Kyrie Irving. I ain't saying he is, but, take your time and play the game, young man. You got a lot of good basketball in front of you.
But the thing about it is, back to them being in luxury tax, like, they beyond luxury tax. They deep into the repeater tax. So it's to a point where, when you make a trade in the NBA, your trade has to match dollar for dollar. They already invested in Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. So Draymond is coming up pretty soon. There's no way they're going to pay him and keep those two players. So something is going to have to give. That's the reason why I say more than likely they're going to part ways with Draymond because they didn't repeat. So
I don't think so, Coach. I think they're just gonna give him a 1-year deal, 2-year deal. Because you gotta realize, guy at 33, at least 33.
But that's my point. I don't think he has great value on the open market. But some stupid team is gonna be willing to throw crazy money his way. Do you think he's gonna give the Golden State Warriors a hometown discount, or you think he's gonna just chase the bag? I mean, that's the question.
That depends on Steph and Clay. Because sometimes you gonna have a relationship with them guys there, and you could be like, man, look, come back next year. We're gonna win us a ring. You might take that route, or you might have a team like the Washington Wizards. Man, look, we're gonna pay you 4 years, $250 million. Some crazy on the wall. Big stupid, like you said, a big stupid contract. That's up to him if he gonna want to stay with the team that you've been rolling with, or go get his money. If you was in that position, coach, what would you do? You go get the money, or would you stay with your team, your guys you've been running with?
I'm gonna be real. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. He has championship rings.
All right,
If I were him, I would chase the bag. Just being
that's
honest.
true too. But that goes on loyalty. How loyal you is with this organization.
But I mean, but me personally, outside of Golden State, he really doesn't have any value. I mean, if you put him on a bad team, I mean, even if you put him on a team like the Pelicans
Suns.
or the Suns or whoever, I don't think he has value on most teams. I mean, I think he's a good, like you say, a good dirty work player. He's a good defender. At certain points, he's like a point forward in terms of they facilitate the offense through
I'm gonna
him.
be honest with you though. I don't mean to cut you off, sorry, but he'll fit good with the Suns. Now with the Pelicans, no. But the Suns, he could play. Look, one thing about him, he gonna go against anybody, the Joker, anybody, any night. He gonna go undersized or not. He gonna go 110 behind anybody. And you got KD and Booker spotting up. And I think the Suns need another point guard as well, like a younger
Nah, but
point guard.
see, he's a good fit contingent on the fact that you get rid of Chris Paul. Chris Paul has seen his better days. He's done in my estimation. Of course, you know, since he left New Orleans, I'm not a fan of his anyway. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Him and AD, I don't
I
like
already know that.
Since him and AD, since they left New Orleans, I could care less about either one of them. But I'm
What
going to
about
give
Drew
us.
Holiday?
Oh, I love Drew Holiday. You know, Drew Holiday, my dog.
Okay, so guys, first of all, we want to send shout outs to our family that's watching, and as well as to David, Billy, and Blackwater. Thank y'all for watching and commenting down below in the section. Tell us who you have and who you're rooting for as well. So guys, with that being said, the NFL, the schedule to come for the upcoming preseason and season, and tell me, what are your thoughts?
Well,
Coach?
me personally, I think looking at the Saints' schedule for this year, they should be able to win a minimum of 10 games. I'm thinking they should be able to win maybe 12, somewhere in that area, 12, 13 games, something like that, because they have a very favorable schedule, in my opinion. Now, my personal opinion, I know there's going to be a controversial take. If the Saints don't make the playoffs, they need to fire Mickey Loomis. They need to fire Dennis Allen. And you just might well gut the whole roster and just start all over. That's just my personal opinion. I know it's a controversy, a hot take, but the fact that Derek Carr is going to be the best quarterback in the division, I mean, I know you have Bryce Young that's going to be young, upcoming, and emerging, but the fact that you have the best quarterback in the division and you have a team that's ready to make a deep playoff run now, and in addition to that, you have the second best backup quarterback in the division in famous James Winston. If you don't make a deep run with this team, you might as well fire Mickey Loomis, fire Dennis Allen, and just cut the whole roster and just start all over again, because there's no way. I mean, the way everything is set up in terms of your schedule, in terms of how weak the division is, just think about it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had Tom Brady. They went 8-9 and they won the division and made the playoffs. So you cannot tell me that the Saints can't win a minimum of 10 games, maybe even 12, 13 games. So I think it's imperative that they make the playoffs and that they keep the train rolling. If not, I think you just might as well blow the organization up from the top on down.
Let me ask you this. Dennis Allen, do you think he is making great decisions as the
As a
head
head
coach?
coach?
I feel
No.
from what I get that he shouldn't, nothing trying to be thrown to, his way. But I feel like he doesn't possess the position as a head coach. He would be better as an assistant coach.
Defensive coordinator, yes.
Well,
Instead of being the head coach.
That's basically what he is, or however you want to put it.
That's what he is.
Nothing
Yeah,
but a great defensive coordinator.
that's all he is.
That can make stuff happen. We just give him a benefit of the doubt because he was there when Sean Payton was leaving. So we give him the chance instead of bringing in anybody else that know the system. The thing that I don't like about the Saints, you need to go back to some of these old highlights, these old film when you was digging and dunking and throwing bubble screens and misdirection, flea flickers, all these different things, these different schemes. Like, coach, I'm on the same page with you. The schedule's so easy. And, it's too early to really tell because some teams going to be good and some teams are not going to be good. But the way we're looking at it right now, we ought to finish at least 12, 13 games, to finish the season off with. But who knows what kind of scheme he's got going on. And I'm kind of disappointed with Carmichael, too, because you was under Peyton all these years. You should be the runner's offense. Your name should be hanging around in a ballot as being the next coach or somebody's team or something like that. I'm disappointed with him and a couple other people. Like we should be easily walk through the division. With our eyes closed. Like that's how easy it looks so far. And even the teams we playing against out of division, we should be winning all these games. I hope so. But only time will tell, coach. And man, I hope we have a great season, bro. Because we've been let down the last couple of years, bro.
Yeah.
Even last year, I thought we were going to pull a bag out, man. Coach, I ain't gonna lie to
you. And to piggyback off what you were saying about Dennis Allen, that's all he is. He's a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach by no stretch of the imagination. His decision making is terrible. I don't understand why they didn't start Jameis Winston when Winston got back healthy. Because then Andy Dalton, he's just a glorified game manager at best. When he was even when he was in his heyday with the Bengals, that's all he was a game manager. So the fact that when Jameis Winston was good enough to play, maybe he still was a little nicked up cool, from his transverse fracture. But once he was fully healthy and fully good enough to play, like, why they didn't put him back in the starting lineup? So I'm going to be truthful. I know a lot of people disagree with my take, but I really felt that they really needed to go get Derek Carr. A lot of players wanted him, and they were able to restructure contracts to bring in Carr. But me personally, I'd have been cool if you'd have stuck with James, and then you brought in a young heir apparent like a Hendon Hooker, and you bring him along slowly, and you fill some of the other holes that you have on your team. That just was my personal take on it. But the fact that he gave him a hometown discount and he was willing to be the backup behind Derek Carr, it kind of showed a lot. And I feel like even if Carr does go down, James was good enough to get you to the playoffs. And I don't get you to the playoffs, but allow you to make a deep run. So that's why I say if they don't make the playoffs, you might as well get rid of Mickey Loomis, definitely get rid of Dennis Allen, and maybe you bring in another head coach because I know people are going to be like, well, hey, you're a black coach, So bring in somebody like Eric Bieniemy, let him be your next head coach because I think he might be one of the few people that could replicate the type of offense you had when you had Sean Payton and when Sean Payton was at the top of his game. Because, like Rue said, Carmichael, I'm so disappointed in him. It's like bro, like you should be able to run the offense the way it was clicking on all cylinders. And even when Sean Payton was suspended for the year, it's like, you should be able to show that, hey, I can be, the best offensive, one of the better offensive coordinators Saints had. And in addition to that, I should be a candidate to be the head coach for the Saints.
You're exactly right on everything, coach. But Carr, man, Carmichael, you can look at Carmichael. He don't have that voice. He's a quiet little dude. He reminds me of the guy of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, a little quiet dude.
Morrison, what his name is, I can't think his name, but you're right.
It looked like the players talk to him any kind of way. When you're a coach, you can't care about nobody's feelings. You got to get in them guys' feet, whatever. I don't care. You don't like me, whatever. You got to be about your business. Because you can either lose your job and he still got his job. So you won't be known as whatever you do, you won't be known as one of the greatest to ever do it. First of all. And like you said, Mickey Loomis, all of them should be gone. You should clean house with them. But I like to bring
if you don't make the playoffs. That's only if you don't
make the playoffs or whatever. You're right. Even if you don't make the playoffs. But like certain players like Derek Carr, I think it was a good bringing. Because now you got players happy, like looking forward to the season, like Michael Thomas, who didn't play in a couple years. You got all kind of other guys getting hope, like what your boy gonna do, Olajuwon. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be one of the top 10 receivers in the league this year. You know what I'm saying? So you bringing in Carr, somebody who could sling the ball a little better. I like Jameis, yeah, but Jameis take too long to make decisions. You know what I'm saying? When Drew Brees used to play football, he already got his guy who he going with. Hot route, schemes, kill, kill, kill. He see different defenses. Jameis and them guys don't do that, especially in the Dalton. You know, you gotta know how to read a defense. You know, any quarterback who been doing this for a period of time, you can read a defense. You know, you got to know where your schemes, your blitzes coming in at. You got to know where your hot routes at. You got to know how to change all this up when you're at the line of scrimmage. That's why they call you a quarterback. You got to lead this team to a winning press. You know, you got to lead them to the you know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying. And I never said Jameis Winston a Drew Brees type quarterback, but I think he was a better fit than Andy Dalton. It's not even close.
Most depth, though. Most depth. But I think Derek Carr is what you kind of need, more of a gunslinger. If you look at the rotation, how Jameis throw it, he got to wind way back. When Carr come, this is how you put it in football right here. Dick and dunk. Boom, boom, boom. You know, all that winding up. You go against a great like Reeves Island. What you think that would have been? Every time you get ready to throw the ball, that would have been a pick. Every time. Asante Samuel, anybody, you know, great cornerbacks or safeties, or Rodney Harrison. That was every time you get ready to cock back, you know where he going at. And he moved too slow. Like, I don't know if it's something wrong with his eyes or whatever, but he need to get that really examined and checked out if you're gonna be a quarterback. And you saying he could have went anywhere else in the league, man, one team would have picked him up right now to be a starter.
Who Jameis Winston?
Yes.
Man, I'll take him. If I was the Steelers, I would want him right now.
No, indeed. You see what they got? You see what the Steelers got at quarterback? They just drafted number one. This boy beat out 3 quarterbacks last year, dog. Like, for real, though.
In fact,
Kenny Pickens is playing ball over there.
Man,
another team.
First of all, just look in your own division. He could easily go back to Tampa and be the starter, as far as I'm concerned. He definitely could start. This boy you got for the Falcons. Man, everybody on him. Man, that boy, he is not that guy to me. He a game manager. He another Andy Dalton type.
Trust me. If it was that good and he looked at that great, somebody would have easily picked him up.
But you got to realize he was hurt.
He wouldn't have signed back with New Orleans if he didn't know this is what he is now. He got to back up a team.
Bro, if you say he injury prone, I will give you that because he was hurt last year and he was out for the rest of the year before that. Grant you that. But I'm talking about when this boy was healthy, not this past season, but the year before. Man, the Saints was rolling, but when he got hurt, had he stayed healthy the rest of the year, they would have made the playoffs that year.
Or the year before that, when you throw 30 picks.
See, you're talking about Tampa Bay. We're not talking about Tampa Bay Jameis.
But I'm trying.
We're talking about New Orleans Jameis.
I'm trying to get you to see like they're doing.
And then not only that, but guess what? I don't mean to cut you off, dude. You can say what you want. Evans got to take a lot of L's on them 50-50 jump balls that Jameis was throwing. A lot of times, bro, he was quitting on routes. He wasn't really jumping up for the ball and fighting for it. But guess what? Brady throwing some of the same passes that Jameis was throwing. And guess what? Well, he fighting for every pass now. So, bro, you can say what you want. It is what it is.
I mean, I know you got that in your mind, but hey, bro, I'm telling you right now, if he was, I ain't disagree. Hey, look, if he was that good, bro, somebody would have been beat down the door. Hey, Saints, we want this guy now. But like I said,
for him. Even last year, I mean, he was hurt. Even when at the beginning of the year he was hurt, he had a transverse fracture, and when he got back healthy, they just never put him back in the lineup. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a franchise quarterback, but I am saying he's a serviceable quarterback that can get you to the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna give you that because you got that one. He can leap you into the playoffs, but you might just go to the playoffs. You ain't looking to win no ring with him. Like he's not gonna win you no ring or nothing. I'm being honest with you. Who knows? Derek Carr might not win us a ring. We looking forward towards that.
I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been watching like a few sites online. Man, some people picking the Saints to win the Super Bowl. I'm thinking to myself, I hope it's true. I don't think it's realistic.
Okay, guys, so let me ask you this question. If the Saints don't make a great schedule win moving forward, what would cause, I know that will be one reason they will get rid of Dennis Allen. what would be reasons that they will make changes in their staffing on the Saints side, Coach? Because I
Well,
know you know things like this. What would be a reason that they will make adjustments in management and on the coaching staff? Because just from the previous season, I saw that there was a reason to make changes, but I guess they didn't see it the same way. But what will be a reason that they would make after this second season as well, if things don't go the way they predict?
well, the thing about it is, the deck is stacked. The deck is stacked in the Saints' favor. So easily they should be able to make a deep playoff run. They have a favorable schedule. They have an extremely weak division. I mean, despite what Rue was saying, as far as I'm concerned, it might be a bit of a stretch. I think James Winston is the second best quarterback in the division, and he's on your team. So if they can't make a deep playoff run with a weak schedule in a weak division, then it's time for you to move on from Mickey Loomis as your general manager. And Dennis Allen has already showed me that he's a trash head coach. Truthfully speaking, if he was that guy, he still would be the head coach of the Raiders. So you have Derek Carr from the Raiders. So many of the Saints players and the Saints fans, they covet Derek Carr. I'm not dissing Derek Carr, but for the amount of money that you paid for him, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. The type of money they paid him, that's franchise quarterback type money in my estimation. So I think you could have saved a lot of that money, and you could have filled other holes on your team. You know, maybe you could have got some better receivers. Of course, we already know that Mike Thomas, he came back from his injury. He took a hometown discount. So the fact that you have all of this at your disposal, you have, again, I'm going to reiterate it. The fact that you have a weak schedule, you have a weak division, and like I say, it's kind of early to tell. You know, like Ruth said, it's too early to tell because we're at this point where, you know, we didn't even make it into the summer months yet. You know, they didn't even go in the mini camp yet, rookie mini camp. So we don't know, you know, everything that's going to be on the table. And of course, one thing we got to factor in the injuries. But even with that being said, if you ask me, my personal opinion, you have a weak schedule, you have a weak division, and the fact that, in my opinion, I know Bryce Young is going to be that guy at some point. Personally, if you ask me, I think James Winston is the second best quarterback in your division, and he's on your team. So with all that being said, the Saints should make a deep playoff run. And if they don't, starting with Mickey Loomis, who's the general manager, and working your way on down, use my way, get rid of everybody. So to me, I think it's a do or die season for Loomis, for Dennis Allen, and for the entire staff. You're on mute, Rue. Can you hear him?
Check your mic, Rue.
Hold on, let me see. Unmute your mic, Rue. All right, say something.
I think he's having technical difficulties.
Rue, go out and come back in.
Well, we're going to come back with Rue on that, but
because the reason why we want to come back to him, because you know we want get his thoughts on that particular subject. And in addition to that, because he wasn't here last week when we went over the draft grades, because you know myself, I thought in terms of the draft, Adam and K, me personally, I thought his
I'm gonna say this right quick. Let me see.
All right, go.
Hey, man, I like what the Saints did by bringing in some of his players to play with him, who he used to playing with. All it is chemistry you bring it to a new team. I like when the NFL draft like the Philadelphia Eagles, they're drafting all these guys from the from Georgia. You know, I like what Jacksonville did with Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson. You know, I like all these teams that you drafting player that you play with in college. I've been telling you that, like, you know, when you've been talking about that, I like that because that's chemistry you bring into the team already. Man, look, this is how we used to do it when we were playing at Georgia. This is how we used to do it when we were playing at Clemson. This is how we used to do it when we were playing at LSU. I like that chemistry. So this guy, Derek Carr, been playing with this guy in Las Vegas. So I like that. You know, that's chemistry you bring to the team, you know. And I hope the guy better. I know he had a little illness. He was sick with a little cancer. And I see he coming back and playing ball.
Wait, stop. Readjust that a little cancer. That's a hard word. Just say with cancer because cancer is very serious and very hard thing to deal with.
I mean, it's real hard. I think he actually should have set the season out because by taking licks from the NFL, you never know. You might re-aggravate it or aggravate it. You know, I ain't trying to disrespect it or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, cancer is hard. I didn't lost a parent with cancer, you know, so, you know, disrespect or nothing like that.
All of us have.
I'm just saying, like, you know, by playing in the NFL, probably getting hit or whatever like that, you never know how we don't know. We don't have all the studies or whatever like that, but I'm not gonna go too far in that detail. But I just like the way they brought him in to play with Derek Carr, to play with and with the Raiders.
And I don't mean to cut you off, Rule, but I think Kid understand, you know, that was going to be our next topic because the Saints brought in Boston Moreau. He was the tight end for Derek Carr in Las Vegas. And when he's saying a little cancer, when he went, the Saints was getting ready to sign him. And when they went to sign him, they found out that he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a form of cancer. And the prognosis is that he's not going to be ready for the start of the season, but they think he should be ready for October. So he wasn't, you know, because all of us, you know, our parent has had cancer. So he wasn't disrespecting it by saying a little cancer, but what he was saying is the fact that the Saints doctor saying, and his doctors from the cancer center is saying that he should be ready to play by October. So that's what he meant by a little cancer. You know, he didn't mean it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, you know exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah. I didn't mean it by no disrespectful, no harmful way.
No, I understand, but I was just trying to help you with the wording for those out there who may have heard that the wrong way. A little cancer.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And you're right, but I just kind of trying to put it in context because, you know, for him to have cancer, for the Saints to give him a physical to sign him, and he has cancer, and for them to project that he's ready by October, November, you know, that's essentially kind of what he was saying.
And you kind of want him to play round then, you know, because you don't want rushing back out there and throw him in the mix that fast. Yeah. I think you need to keep him practicing with the starters and everything like that, and let him sit out till, like you say, November or whatever like that, and at least the last week in October.
So, Rue, my question, what I asked Coach previously, do you think if the Saints do not make the playoffs and we lost him again? I think
because
technical difficulties.
Yeah, we have to get another service provider on that end besides Spectrum.
But I really hope that the Saints make some great strides this season. I really would like for them to win the Super Bowl, bring another trophy home. But we will see, and that tells you if the coaching staff doesn't make the right decisions, that can make things go into opposite. Going down the wrong road into the opposite direction. So it's all about the coaching staff as well. It's not just the players playing, but they have to make the right decisions on plays and, have their heads in the game, because you can't expect for one person to do one thing and the others are not. So,
and one other thing while we talking about Foster Moreau, more than anything, I mean, they anticipate that he's going to be ready by October, but it's no guarantee. So more than anything, I wish him well because, life in general is a lot bigger than the game of football. And, hopefully from a financial standpoint, he's set and he's stable. But more than anything, like from an off the field standpoint, I hope he's, he makes a full recovery and that everything works well for him, whether he plays for the Saints or not, because, discovering that they have cancer, he has cancer. And I mean, that's one thing about the Saints. The Saints medical staff, they had a bad rep at one point because at one point, they misdiagnosed Keenan Lewis with the wrong type of injury. They misdiagnosed Delvin Breaux with the wrong type of injury. According to the training staff, both of those players, had minor injuries and they were cleared to play. And both of those players were like, now I'm far more injured than y'all think I am. And of course, they got a second and third opinion and come to find out like these guys had severe injuries. And the thing about Keenan Lewis was the fact that the Saints had already paid him. He left the Steelers and came to the Saints. And, from a financial standpoint, he was set. But Delvin Breaux, he after the CFL, he came to the Saints. And he was due to get a big contract, but he got hurt before he got the contract. So he made decent money, but he didn't get the life-changing money that Keenan Lewis had. And as a result, he was just never the same because they tried to rush him back, and he was saying that he was hurt and he was injured, but the Saints tried to force feed him. Now, spinning it forward, if you look at Nick Fairley had a heart issue, a heart condition, and the Saints medical staff picked that up. And not only that, but when they were doing a physical for Foster Moreau, they picked up the fact that he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a form of cancer. So, kudos to the medical staff because this is, I mean, this could potentially may have saved his life from the standpoint of the fact that had he just kept going and not getting the proper treatment, he may have passed or, he may have came to an early demise from not, picking that up. But the fact that they did his physical and they picked that up, I mean, that's a game changer,
Correct. So are there any other final thoughts that you have, Coach, that you would like to say?
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that Rue had some technical difficulties, but other than that, I think it was a great show. We had some great discussion. The topics were great. So we appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us since day one. We appreciate everybody that was in the chat. My brothers Billy Bob, Blackwater Bayou, David Jackson. We appreciate everybody that came through and was able to check out the show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And, y'all have a blessed and phenomenal weekend. For my brother Blackwater Bayou. Basically, I'm getting ready to upload some more Southern University content. So all my Southern University Jaguar fans out there, I got a couple videos that's going to be lined up. So y'all check that out. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. We'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace and blessings.
And guys, we want to thank you for watching. If you have any comments that you would like to give us, or if there are any discussions you would like for us to discuss in the future, please put them in the comment section below. We want you to like, subscribe, share, follow for more content. And please, guys, please look out for more content in the future. And for our closing quote, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. So, guys, thank you. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
Peace.